Hey everybody, Mac to Monster, back again with Marvel Heroes. And we got Daredevil doing another redo. Um, they changed something on him, so I'm changing him around a little bit. Definitely a little different, and a couple things, but definitely made him better. And obviously I leveled him to 50. I did try some things people requested me to try, don't like them. So those are still out, and I'm definitely sticking with the basics that I'm doing here. And there's a little bit of a method to the madness. I already got the points spent, but I'll go through the build. And yeah, basically, when building it, uh, prioritize the actual fighting skills, and I'm calling it King Fu fighting because that's what he does. He's a King Fu guy. And we're doing Taser Club still. Even though it's a low chance to stun, we're not really doing it for the stun. We're doing it for the keyword energy damage. And we'll get into that for a second here. And also there's keyword in there, melee. And again, with triple strike, we got melee going on. And that's some big damage we got going on here. And basically, damage goes up 50% for the next hit and 100% for the hit after that. And it goes back to regular to 50 to 100. And it continues down the line. It does pretty good at burning a boss down. And we're going to stick with Rebounding Club. It kind of sucks it only hits 4 times. I really wish they would increase the amount that it hits. However, it does hit like a truck when it does hit, so it's pretty nice. Leaving us with the trick of having to do Daredevil a little differently than other characters. We want to get about 3 to 4 mobs on the screen at a time and hit them with the club until we get to the boss, and then we want to hit the boss with the triple strike. And that's the ideal way to do it. Our backup is always going to be Taser Club. With those points spent, as you can see, acrobatics is going to be empty. I got 1 point in action roll. That's still my go-to movement roll. At 1 point, you still get 1,530 dodge out of it, so that's pretty awesome. But in this build, we are building Relentless Justice because they put in here that damage rating to melee powers, and that's a pretty good chunk of damage rating. Now this is only at level 50, so I do like that. And movement speed. He's got no movement power really at all. So that movement speed is going to pay off in the end. And of course we're going with radar sense because, well, he dodges projectiles. He gains attack speed when you dodge. That's pretty all OP. Put a point in radar ping. Put a point in Devil of Hell's Kitchen. A point in the action roll, of course. And finally, we're going to put points in Man Without Fear. It's kind of a sucky steroid ability. It only lasts for 5 seconds. It's got a 25-second cooldown. It gives you an okay amount of spirit, and it gives you an okay amount of life. It's sucky, but it's mandatory. Even though it's sucky, if you hit that with a med kit, it's kind of okay. And it does give you a good amount of spirit. And it will come in handy. That's the only thing you got that really helps you in a bind, besides what we're going to do with Taser Club. And this is kind of buggy, so it works, and then it doesn't work because it's bugged. So that's the build for King Fu fighting. What we're doing with it, and why I kept mentioning energy, is Oculus Ouroboros. We gain health every time we hit with an energy power. Now with Thor, it works awesome. Works wonders. Every time one of Storm Strike's little electrical beams bounces off a target, he gains health like mad. With Daredevil, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it registers, sometimes it doesn't. Just the way it is. Obviously, we got a Yukio's Charm, and we got the Fearsome Fist of Farala. If you're a serious Daredevil person, you're going to want a PIMS. A PIM will keep you in spirit pretty decently, because he's a pretty dodgy guy. Without the dodge roll, you're at 27%. With the dodge roll, you're at 36%. Throw a PIMS on, you know, you're not going to go to 37%, but you're going to get a lot of spirit incoming. And that'll keep that triple strike flowing on the boss. And I go with Dr. Doom's Medallion. Even though there's only one ability that we're using now that has a buff duration, and it doesn't even count, I think, because 15% doesn't net a second yet. But it might. If it get a second off of this, great. What we're doing here is, besides the damage rating, the health, and the spirit, is really the key factor is that almost 10% chance to cause the attacker to cower in fear when you're attacked. And that's an AoE around you, so everything around you cowers. It's very nice crowd control that helps Daredevil survive. After that, you need as much health regen as you can possibly get your hands on, which is why we're doing that. Here, I've offset health regen with basic attacks to health regen on kill with health, and I got obviously an invulnerability and durability core on, which also helps a very minimal bit because he has no durability, which is why he dies and he gets hit like a truck, and durability doesn't pay off like it used to either, so you can't offset it too good anymore. But that's the build, and I'll go do something here. And Taskmaster is going to be orange, so I'm going to do Kingpins again. The problem with orange and Daredevil is it's not agreeable, and you're going to notice a much different. If you just saw Deadpool do this, it's going to be a much different fight from Deadpool's. Oh, and I also find key is getting a super high movement speed insignia, helping you to push. Although if you're not good at slowly pushing through content, then you may not want that, because you don't want tons of mobs coming through to you. You want to get a few mobs at a time so you can rebound and club, kill them all. If you get too many mobs and you miss, you're in trouble. Missing's easy at range. As you can see, this is going to get kind of slower. But that club hits like a truck, triple strike. So does the rebounding club. And what's nice about the rebounding club is once you hit a target, it heat seeks for the other three. Although that one bugged out. But if you watch the Deadpool video, you probably realize this is moving much slower paced. He just doesn't have the AoE. And then I get stuck with this. You're either going to burn Spirit with triple strike to kill these things, or if you're taking tons of damage, you go to the life regen with the Oculus Ouroboros. But once the blues are gone, really the trouble's out of the way. Those clubs will kill everything. Get rid of the extras around the yellow, kill the yellow. Yeah, we're at the boss. It's not too bad. That movement speed from Falcon, Insignia of the Falcon, is pretty good, especially with this guy. So we can radar ping. We can hit that, and then we'll hit the boss. You can see Triple Strike does burn him down pretty good. The cower effect from Doom's Metal already paid. He spawned things, so I just throw the club. Oh, I got hit, so I hit my steroid. And that's the fight. You're hoping to burn him down before he burns you down. If you get hit by a big thing, you hit your steroid, you hit your med kit. And that's it. As you can see, he took much, much more damage than Deadpool, and it's not as easy as a fight. But that's the Kung Fu Master. I really haven't been able to find any other combination that works quite as well. If you get a boss that's a spawner, and it's a dangerous boss, You can go back to the Taser Club and let the energy damage bounce off targets and get the extra life incoming. And then when the danger goes away, you go back to Triple Strike and burn them down. You could probably have, if this is your main, you'd probably have much better gear, and you'd have Spirit on hit instead of Spirit on defeat. And then you'd get a lot more Spirit coming back in to keep the Taser Club going up on the safe time, Triple Strike, I'm sorry, and then Taser Clubbing on the dangerous times, and you'll be able to time it much better than I am. But he's a lot better than he was before anyways. So that's the Kung Fu Fighter fighting, and Daredevil, you know, I like him. I like that costume. Looks pretty cool. So hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later.